Welcome to the next video. In this video, I want to create a GitHub repository and I want to upload our code base to a GitHub repository such that I can show you in the following how to set up continuous integration tests and how to deploy our HTML documentation on a GitHub page. So I am here on github.com. If you do not have a GitHub account yet, you can register for free and I will now create a new repository. So I click here on new, then I will choose this as a public repository and I will choose a name. So I will call it fast vector ENG, and then I won't choose any of these here because I have already prepared the readme gitignore and license file. So I would just here click on create repository and I have just prepared the code. So as you might saw in the package structure of the course, I have uploaded the code already. Inside the chapter 4 packages, I have here the subdirectory for improved structure, and this is the code that I will use in the following. So I just opened this directory here with VS Code. To now use our local code or to push our local code into the GitHub repository that I've created right now, I have to just use these commands here. So at first I have to add this GitHub repository as origin. So I say here, or I paste it in git remote add origin, and this is just the link to your to currently mine GitHub repository. But first of all, we need to initialize here git. So at first I need to write git init, then I have to add all files to the current git repository and I have to do a commit. So I just say here git add dash capital A, which stands for all. Then at next, I have to type git commit dash m first commit. And now I can paste here the text to add the origin here as a remote. At next, I can copy these next two lines. So here I switch to the main branch and I will push the existing code to the main branch, or better to say, I will push the commit to the main branch. So this might take a moment since we are uploading some files, and if we now would reload our GitHub repository, we would see here our code. Okay, so at next I will show you how you can publish a GitHub page for your HTML documentation. So I will activate our environment at first, conda activate py_udemy. Then I will call mkdocs. And as I showed in the last video, here's now the command github-deploy. So I call mkdocs gh, which is just an abbreviation for github-deploy or -deploy. And if I now press enter, this mkdocs tool would now create a new branch in our repository, and this branch is called gh-pages, so GitHub pages. If I now go to our repository back in GitHub and if I reload our page, I would now see here a new branch that is called gh-pages. So if I would go on this branch, here are our HTML files located. And here on the right side, we would see environments, GitHub pages. If you click on that, you would see that the GitHub page is started. And if you now click here on view deployment, our documentation is now live on the internet and everybody can access this page by your username.github.io/ for example here fast_vector_eng, since I called our repository fast_vector_eng. And this is not, as in the last video, on localhost now. So this is on the internet, hosted by GitHub for free, which is a pretty nice tool. So now everyone could just here see our API documentation and could look up some important informations if they want to use our package, which is pretty nice. Okay, so this is the point for creating a GitHub page and creating a repository. And in the next videos, I will show you our new updated structure here, since I have created some new files. For the moment, I can show you the README, the license, and the .gitignore file. So these can be generated if you create a new repository. As you saw before in the video, I haven't ticked these parts. So if you set a tick for a README, license, and gitignore, it would create these files. So for example, here I have created a license file that has just the MIT license. So for your software project, you need to look up which license is appropriate for your project. And next, every GitHub repository should have a readme.markdown file. And here you would describe your repository. So for example, here in NumPy, in their readme.md file, they describe the package on a higher level. So you can just link important informations about your package inside the readme.markdown file, since this file is always rendered here on the start page of your repository. And furthermore, I have added here a .gitignore file. In this file, you can list folders and files that should not be uploaded to your GitHub repository. So these files that are excluded here only exist on your local branch of your GitHub repository. They won't be uploaded to GitHub if you push a commit to your GitHub repository. So for example, you could list here the site folder, since we do not want to upload our HTML documentation to the main branch, and only we want to upload it to the GH pages branch, for example. So I just added it here. Also, you can add some more files or folders that you just don't want to upload. For example, the .vscode folder where we can define some settings or configurations for the debugger, for example. So we don't want to upload this folder. Hence, I have added it here in the gitignore file. Okay. The other changes of our package will be discussed in the following videos. Then we will see us in the next video. Bye bye.